that may be one of the ways. One of the things I was hearing, different directors and managers having different parts of a puzzle, but it was never clear who had which bit. And the reason why a gap analysis is so important is because training can be disjointed if this person says, oh, they need this training, oh, that role needs that that role also needs, and that role, who said? Just because you're the director, just because you're the manager. When a gap analysis is done, in a proper learning needs analysis, gap analysis and then learning needs analysis is you look at the roles. What are the actual roles? There may be similarities, there may be differences in roles, there may be aspects of a role that will need all the training, some of the training, or some nuance of the training, or an off branch of that training. How do you work that out? You don't sit down and try and guess it. It's a waste of time. It really is a waste of time. It may seem like a gap analysis and a learning need analysis is a waste of time, but it saves you far more time in the future. It's not just about here and now, because you're going to have those roles again. People come and go. How do you know what to train them? Directors, managers come and go off sick. Who knows what to do? So by doing the gap analysis, doing the learning needs analysis, these are some of the things that you identify. And this is what I've done for clients before. And these are large corporates. So if you're higher education, take note, because in some ways you have to do the same things a large corporation do, because there is so much disjoint. There's just so much going on. So and everybody has their own idea. So the only way to work as a united unit is, one, identify the roles, the personas, the KSAs. What knowledge do they need? What skills do they need? What attitudes are required for that role? Then you need to, after identifying the roles, what training exists, or do you need new training? What things do they need to learn based on the role? So each role is its own persona, its own character, right? And once you've done that and you've identified that, then one person, it's good when it's one person, not several people, one person goes and interviews either the director, the SME that represents, that body, that department, or what have you. And then that person, being me, would find out what's a common theme. So there might be a common theme of, I've always done it this way, I don't want to do it no other way. There might be a common theme of wanting to change, bias, lack of buy-in, a whole heap of buy-in. You've got to meet in the middle where everybody will benefit, but most importantly, the business will get the results it requires. And so that's what someone like me is doing. I'm looking at, what does the business need? It's not just about what people want. There are bits that you can give them. And after that is done, then there's an identification of recommended training. So you recommend which bits are face-to-face, which bits are online. You might have a particular role that might benefit from online totally, with just a champion to go and ask questions for support. You might have another role that needs it totally face to face, and you might need another role that can have a mixture of face-to-face, online, but they need check-ins, like drop-in sessions every so often, probably once a month, deep dives, that kind of thing. And then you can start building out what you have available for your staff to do as training on your LMS platform. When you see what has worked well, when you see sessions that have been done that have been very responsive, and then you have something that is a foundation. And then the next time, let's say you add a particular key responsibility to a role, or a few roles, not all the roles, you can then go back to the gap analysis, look at the training, see the training needs analysis, see who actually did which training from the training records, and then you just fill in the gaps rather than going all the way around again trying to do this process. Or higgledy-piggledy, yeah, you do that train, you do that train, you do that train. Oh, we got no more budget. There's no more budget. You need to ask somebody else or read a manual. You see, those kind of things really do affect staff performance. It affects the way that you do business. It affects the effectiveness of your business. So gap analysis, training needs analysis, learning needs analysis, they are not a waste of time. They are your foundation to your future. They are the foundation, even as a small business. And it's even better as a small business if you start doing these. I have templates of, like a shortened for smaller businesses. Then scaling your business is not difficult. That's when, to scale your business, you need to train people to do certain things in your business that normally you would do, or another 2 roles would do, or 1 role would do, and you want to split it into 3 or 4. So when you can break that down at a very early stage, or right now where you are, once you can break that down for the future, you know that you've got something to refer to, you've got something to reflect on. And training is not all about click on this, do that. I say you do. That's not what training is about. Training needs to ensure, for a business, needs to ensure that by the end of the interactions and the engagement, that staff are able to help a business make more money, do business better, work in a consistent manner, and to win more clients. So training needs to be varied. You've got people who are, so one of my passions is, I'm not looking at you because I've got to look at where I'm going. So please excuse me, but in training, I speak to you. So training requires you to appear visual, audio, read, write, and kinesthetic learners. So a visual person, I saw something online of a Russian man trying to train swimmers, beginner swimmers, how to swim and how to do the butterfly and how to float and he was totally visual, using body, using acts and everything. Now, myself as a visual learner, just by looking at them, I'm like, yeah, I know what to do now. I think I can swim. You have to make sure that by the end of your training, a person believes they can achieve that thing, they can do that thing. So whether you're a small business and you are training people online, don't just read a script. Be you. People buy you. They love authenticity. They love when even if you've made your little mistakes or whatever, working with a real person They're not working with someone who's always had it perfect. One of the things I've had an issue with is 7-figure, 6-figure coaches. We've made this money, we've made that money. I had one of those, and the coaching was £8,000. And because I said I'm visual, he said I'm not visual, I'm logical. So I had to do things his way. I wasn't learning, I wasn't grasping it. And if I'm paying 8,000 and you telling me I have to do all the work, why am I here? And you're giving me a course that looks like your master's PowerPoint presentation from your lecturers that you put all together on an LMS platform, which was free, no color, just black and white. You're using the free version for my £8,000. You didn't even take the time to use a proper platform. For me, that does not win my votes. That does not win my confidence in you. Nowadays there is a lot of AI. People are using a lot of these avatars, etc. And I was saying to somebody, I need to modify my courses. I need to make sure there's a bit more AI, probably use avatars and whatever. But people want a real person. So you're talking to me, I'll scratch my nose, and I get allergies. So like you, sorry if it's a distraction, but if there are smells or things like that, like I'm driving, and if I can smell outside, it affects my nose. So allergies. People like me got allergies. So even when you are training, you've got to bear in mind all of those things. You've got to bear in mind concentration levels could be really low. It might be someone like me with allergies. It might be a person who's recently got and they've returned to work, but they're only doing part-time. There's so many things to bear in mind. Back to this scenario. So the funniest thing is, when I said and I suggested to do a gap analysis, get everything in one place so you know what the different roles are, what they need to be trained on, what they need to know, etc. And the training. When I suggested that, it was a simple, okay, directors, you do that. What you're doing, do the gap analysis. And just tell me what you want. That's not the purpose of a gap analysis. You need to document these things. Suppose you're busy one day and everybody comes to you with different emails. How do you know, okay, you want this, you want this, you want this, you want this, and it's all different? Then you're going to get all confused again. And guess what? You're going to be in a spin. You're going to say, okay, no, this is the training that's available and you have to do this. And then you miss things. This is why writing things down is powerful. Writing things down and planning. As they said, the 5 Ps, perfect planning prevents pathetic performance. It's just a win-win to plan properly, to get things in writing, and then you can use it forever, And then when you want to modify, you have something to reflect on as a modification point, and it won't be difficult, it won't be confusing to anyone. It would just be a simple add-on that you'd have, or you'd branch off a little, but you won't be going too far from what you've done already. So it's really important, and I'll leave you with this, that you plan and you get a specialist like me who knows what they are doing. Because sometimes, this is a thing, sometimes as a business, people are too precious and too close to their department, and there could be bias, and there's different agendas happening. Someone like me, I come in just to do the job and get the job done and make sure a solution is provided. And then run the training, have all the material, have all the templates, the curriculum, the lesson or session plans, all of that good stuff. So, and we also look at the type of people we're delivering to. And then if I see that, okay, these are people, so there was a company I was with, and it was country specific. So for some countries, they loved to read. Other countries, they loved visuals. Some countries loved a mixture of both. They love variety. So you have to be thinking about the people you are training, not just what has to be trained. And you need a trained specialist like me who understands those things and knows the andragogical methods, the different models, things like the Bloom's taxonomy, all of those type of things that really help learning to stick. And one thing I make sure, the learning is not like hours and hours, because no one's going to sit there. No staff member is going to sit for hours. They're going to just click, 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 you know, and they click until they get, you know, whatever you're telling them to do done. You know, they don't click to kind of like get it, really enjoy it. Oh, go on, fight. Yeah. They do it to simply get a tick box. You know, fight. They do it to fight. You know, to fight and flight. You know, just to get through quickly. Yeah, so if I can be of any service and help to you, you know how to contact me. You can actually book a call. Calendly.com/Janice Weir-Germia, and get in touch and let us help you take your business further, scale your business by being able to train people and train them appropriately, and neurodiversity, learning styles is a big win-win for any business. So have yourself a wonderful day, and remember that there's no more excuses anymore. There's enough of us online doing business to help you. You do not have to wonder, muddle through, see what can happen. There's enough of us out there to help you. So it's not just about me. I will be putting up some educational videos showing how things are done. And if you want templates, you could click on the link. I will have links where you can actually get your templates. And I'm open to you reaching out and getting my support. The support of myself and my team. I do have a small team. I've deliberately kept it small, and they're young minds, so they're very creative. And we're looking forward to serving you success. So have yourself a wonderful day, and remember, perfect planning prevents pathetic performance. The 5 Ps. Take care. Have a great day now.